Greetings everyone. In this video I'll be showcasing the party composition that I used to achieve a 5-star rating on the Dracozul champion fight at higher levels. In my previous video I had mentioned how it took me around 30 attempts and various party compositions to be able to finally achieve that rating against the Elderjel. The Dracozul was many times more difficult than that, and I'm fairly certain it took me well over 100 attempts in order to actually find the right team to achieve that rating. Before moving forward, I highly recommend looking up other guides on how to do this, as I believe the greatest strength of Monster Sanctuary is the versatility of party compositions. So I'm sure someone figured out a completely different strategy than I did, using a completely different team, that may even be more effective than what I did. So moving on, the team composition that I used to be able to achieve this feat was a combination of 2 Thornish monsters and 1 troll. The dark shifted Thornish just happened to be a Thornish egg that I had in my inventory. There's no true benefit of having a shifted Thornish for this fight. The same is true in my Elderjel video. I forgot to mention it there, but the Dracozul that I used, it was dark shifted, but the dark shifting had no bearing on the party composition itself. So the benefit of this team composition is that we have 3 units that are each able to buff their own defense based on the number of debuffs the enemies have. All 3 of them are able to increase the number of poison debuffs by 2, and the troll is able to increase the number of armor break debuffs by an additional 2, allowing us to debuff the Dracozul a total of 10 times, which will provide a massive defensive bonus for the entire team, as well as create the offensive opportunity to just let all 3 of them use the Poison Eater attack for the rest of the battle once the Dracozul reaches that point. The setup is fairly simple. We want enough mana generation on all 3 to be able to use all of their skills without having to worry about mana consumption or lack of mana consumption from chill debuffs. We want plenty of defense on our Thornishes to be able to tank the most amount of damage, and we want as much damage on our Troll as we can to be able to actually put the hurt on the Dracozul once it's fully debuffed. Starting off, we have our first Thornish apply Barrier and Channeling for additional damage reduction and mana generation. Well, not mana generation, but reduced mana consumption. Then our second Thornish will start applying active poison debuffs to the Dracozul, and our Troll, which is capable of passively causing all sorts of debuffs, will actively armor break the Dracozul until it has a full 3 stacks of armor break. Now, if the Dracozul and the Draconovs focus fire one of your units down in a single round, then just forfeit and start over. It's not worth it to keep going, and you're just wasting time at that point, because no matter what, if you had to spend a round resurrecting an ally, then you will not be able to get a high enough score to get that rating. So just forfeit and start over. Eventually, the AI will choose not to focus down a single target. Once that happens, just continue applying poison debuffs to the Dracozul and armor break until 3 stacks of armor break are active, at which point our Troll can start poison eating, and once the poison stacks reach max, then just have both of the Thornish monsters join in with the poison eating. Something I didn't mention at the beginning, all 3 monsters are capable of passively poisoning all the enemies when they are attacked. The Thornish is more so than the Troll, but the Troll is capable of this as well. The more debuffs the better, but the only guaranteed stacks we can get are poison and armor breaks. That's what we're aiming for. And once we're there, we just focus fire that Dracozul down. All of them will heal every time they do Poison Eater, and it has so many stacks that they will heal. Even if they were down to barely anything at the end of the previous round, they will fully heal due to having max stacks of poison on the Dracozul. And once the Dracozul is down, focus down those Draconovs, which will be much faster, and that's it. By the way, I highly recommend focusing down the Dracozul first instead of the Draconovs, because the Dracozul is capable of applying shields in such a massive quantity that if you choose to focus down the Draconovs first, then by the time you get to the Dracozul, it will have so much shield that you will not be able to meet the time necessary to get that rating. So that's Dracozul down, got our 5-star rating, and that's all there is. So I hope that this video has been helpful to you. I hope that you check out another video on this subject to see how someone else chose to do it, so you can maybe get some inspiration on trying your own way. And if you haven't checked out my Elderjel video, feel free to check that one out in case you happen to have the same issue I did, where I just attempted them way too late. However, the best strategy for both is actually just to attempt them as early in the game as possible. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.